done itself a disservice by allowing this very wrong image of Rahul Gandhi to be portrayed. And I say this that, yes, perhaps he has not been as forthcoming to you as Mr. Modi has been, but that doesn't mean that he has been sitting back on a beach sipping a pina colada. He has been working, he has been traveling the length and breadth of this country. He knows the issues, he has his fingers on the pulse of the people of our country, and I think you will see that the moment he sheds his reticence, that this image of reluctance will also disappear with it.
Will the mid-January session of the AICC declare Mr. Rahul Gandhi as the PM candidate officially?
I don't know. As the Americans like to say, it's above my pay grade. But certainly if we did that, I would welcome it, simply because I think that the country is ready for a rejuvenated Congress party. Not because we are in any way tired of our role, but because we have been around for a while. There is perhaps a perception that some people have that we've become too familiar. So having actually relatively fresh blood coming into the leadership role will, I think, send a signal that there is a fresh mandate being sought for a fresh team. And that, I think, would send a very good signal. But as I said, I don't know what will happen in the AICC. All I know is that if such a decision were made, it would prove very popular with the rank and file in the party. Article 370, I think, has very little to do with the issue that she is rightly concerned about. As a Kashmiri and as a woman, she has argued that there are provisions of the state subject laws in Kashmir and the interpretation of those laws by the Kashmiri governments that have discriminated against women in Kashmir. On that issue, I'm 100% with her. As a woman and a Kashmiri, she has every right to demand that Kashmir should treat women equally as people in the rest of India do. But that does not necessarily call into question Article 370. Article 370, as Omar Abdullah so cleverly said, is a bridge between Kashmir and the rest of India. And it is not something that is a barrier, it is a bridge. I have said on the record that I believe Article 370 should stay as long as democratically elected Kashmiris want it to stay. The day that a democratically elected government in Kashmir says, we don't need this, let's scrap it, and gets its own assembly to recommend that, I'm sure the President of India will be happy to scrap it. But under the Constitution, the President of India can only scrap 370 on the recommendation of the Constituent Assembly, as it then was, of Jammu and Kashmir. And in those circumstances, to raise an issue about debating 370, as some political parties have done, is frankly absurd. It's irrelevant. It doesn't fit in. What Sunanda is concerned about is a totally different issue. It doesn't need an amendment to Article 370. It needs a Kashmir government to interpret its own laws, if necessary amend its own laws, to ensure that people of both genders are treated equally when it comes to issues of rights, marriage, inheritance, and so on. That is a matter that I think can be treated completely independently of Article 370.